We're talking with Sean Sawyer, past district governor and district membership chair of District 7545, a district that is once again well ahead of the success track to end the year with positive growth. And Sean, I'm interested in this club support team you put together. What was it that caused you to decide that would be a good idea?
Sure. Well, historically in our district, we've always made available lots of events and opportunities. But as you well know, you don't always get the right response or enough of the right response. So the club support team was initially formed intentionally to be able to take that kind of show on the road, take Rotary and the message of membership growth to the clubs instead of waiting for them to come and ask you about it.
Good idea. How did you pick those people?
Well, the members of the club support team were already existing members of the entire district membership team that we've really worked hard at growing over the last 3 years. But the club support team folks are the ones that do have the ability and the interest in, and even the skill set to be able to take their interest in seeing other clubs prosper and going to them and being part of that process. So no one was voluntold. It was all 100% volunteer.
So you didn't wait for them to call you, you called them. And then what did that conversation sound like in that initial approach?
Sure. When we reach out to the clubs, the we really starts with me as the DMC, and it's done telephonically. It's not done electronically. It's not done in mass with a broad net. It's very pointed. I get on the phone and I call the person that I think has the most strength and recognition with regard to membership in the club. Usually that's the president, but not always.
So when that call starts, Sean, what does it sound like? What do you say after you say hello?
Sure. Well, I explain why I'm calling, and it says that, look, you don't have necessarily any big problem. You may have a small problem. It may be related to your size, or it may be related to your geography, but it's certainly related to some trends that we see. We don't pepper them with a bunch of numbers and data and tell them how terrible their club is and that it's only our team that can fix your problem. It's not an approach like that. It's, hey, look, there are things out there that maybe you're not aware of. If you're not, here they are. If you are, maybe there's a different way to use them so you can take better advantage of that. And then we hope that they are willing to go along. And then the plan and how that's going to look moving forward is developed not just by our team, but also with that club's leadership.
So you're looking for an agreement to participate, and then you'll assign one of your team members to them.
Actually, we assign more than one team member to them. We're certainly looking for the interest and the commitment. This is nothing that we expect has to be done. Dealing with a group full of volunteers, it almost has to be everybody's idea for it to be a good one, not just part of the group's idea.
Well, every now and then you probably bump into somebody that doesn't really understand they've got a problem.
We do, Terry. In participating in membership summits and different events, we've all heard that the clubs come in different types. The ones that don't know they have a problem, the ones that don't care that they have a problem, but the ones that don't know often would like to do something about it. They just don't know how to do that. So our efforts not only bring to their attention the fact that things could be better if they want them to be better, and if both of those boxes are checked, then it's about exploring together in what way we can find that better way. And then we just get out of the way. So that first conversation is a lot of listening. It's not a whole lot of finger pointing. It's not a whole lot of judging. It's, hey, let's just talk, figure out where we are, figure out if we want to make it better, and then together agree on how we're going to do that.
Sean, I'm guessing you bumped into situations where a club president said, hey, Sean, we're just the right size. We're just happy where we are, and we don't really want to become a big club. How does that conversation go?
That's right. In fact, Terry, it's been my own club at times that says that. Look, we know there's a 15% attrition rate. We know that there are going to be losses that we cannot control. If somebody tries to tell us that they're the right size, maybe they are today, but they likely aren't going to be tomorrow or the next day. And it's likely that they weren't always this new right size. They were probably bigger before, but if their goal is to break even on their best day, that's all they're ever going to do is break even. And we don't always have our best days, especially when we're dealing with that 15% attrition. So if you're just the right size and your goal is to stay there, I don't know how you're going to do it, because you still have to work in order to maintain a certain level.
You sometimes have to clarify that you're not talking about explosive growth. You're not talking about impressive growth. You're talking about moderate growth of, depending on the size of the club, 2, 3, 4 members on average.
That's right. In my district, we don't have a lot of big clubs. For example, we only have 2 clubs that are over 100 members. Most of our clubs are small. If you have a 20-member club, you can grow by 5% with just a couple of members. We're not talking about exponential growth, because growing too fast can be a bigger problem in and of itself. As you know, if you invite all these people and they join and then you give them nothing to do, they vote with their feet and they won't be around long.
So if your right size was 20 and you grow to 22, that's probably not going to knock the wheels off.
That's probably not going to knock the wheels off. It's not going to stress anybody in trying to reach a goal like that. And truth is, if you're a 20-member club and you can grow by 2, you can probably grow by 3 or maybe by 4.
So for this team, Sean, what were the key success factors? What are the things that really had to go right in order for this to work?
Sure. With our team, it's easy. It starts with persistence. Our team members are people just like you and me, who, if they only made one phone call and were met with no response, if you gave up at that point, nothing good would happen. But these folks stay engaged and they're committed to moving forward until they get an answer. Either yes, let's make this work, or no, we're not interested at this time. And that's fine. They also have to have a willingness. They have to be willing to participate and commit, to the steps of this process. And then you have to be thorough. I mean, you have to see this process through, because if you start it, that's great. But if you don't finish it, there's really no point in even getting started. And then there's a little bit of luck too. We can work hard all day long, and good efforts will get you, where, what the proverb says, but a little bit of luck doesn't hurt either. And if that's the icing on the cake to make our numbers blue instead of red, then that's what we're going to do.
Sean, this is a great plan, some great ideas, and I really appreciate you taking the time to share this with others. Thanks so much.
It's been my pleasure. Thanks very much.
Have a good day.